Behind every iconic brand lies a story, some inspiring, others unsettling. But few are as controversial as the history of Porsche. What if I told you that one of the most iconic luxury car brands in the world was built on the backs of forced labor and tied to one of history's darkest regimes? This isn't just a story about fast cars and sleek designs, it's a story about power, exploitation, and a legacy that's still debated today. From its founder's controversial beginnings to its ties with one of the most infamous regimes in history. By the end of this video, you'll see Porsche in a way you never have before. Let's break it down. Let's start with the man behind the brand, Ferdinand Porsche. Born in 1875 in Czech Republic, Ferdinand was a brilliant engineer with a knack for innovation. From a young age, he was fascinated by electricity and mechanics, and by his early 20s, he was already making a name for himself in the automotive industry. In the early 1900s, Ferdinand worked for some of the biggest names in the business, including Austro-Daimler and Mercedes-Benz. He designed groundbreaking vehicles, like the Lohner Porsche Mixed Hybrid, one of the first hybrid cars in history. But Ferdinand wasn't just an engineer, he was a visionary. He dreamed of creating cars that were not only powerful but also accessible to the average person. However, Ferdinand's ambitions took a dark turn in the 1930s. As the political landscape in Germany shifted, he found himself drawn into the orbit of Adolf Hitler, who was obsessed with cars and technology, saw Ferdinand as the perfect person to bring his vision of a people's car to life. But this partnership would change the course of history, and not for the better. Ferdinand Porsche's most famous project during this time was the Volkswagen Beetle. Yes, the same cute, iconic car we know today has a dark origin story. Hitler wanted a people's car, a vehicle that was cheap, reliable, and accessible to the average German. Porsche delivered. The Beetle was designed to be simple, affordable, and easy to mass-produce. It was a revolutionary idea at the time, and Ferdinand's engineering brilliance made it possible. But here's the disturbing part. The Volkswagen factory where the Beetle was produced relied heavily on forced labor. During World War II, the Nazis used prisoners of war and concentration camp inmates to build these cars. Thousands of people were subjected to horrific conditions, working long hours with little food or rest. Many didn't survive. And Ferdinand Porsche? He wasn't just aware of this, he was directly involved. In fact, Porsche was a member of the Nazi Party. He profited immensely from his relationship with the regime, and his company benefited from the exploitation of forced labor. It's a chilling chapter in Porsche's history that often gets overlooked. During World War II, Porsche didn't just design cars, he also worked on military projects for the Nazis. This included designing tanks and other vehicles for the German war effort. One of his most infamous designs was the Elephant tank destroyer, which was used on the Eastern Front. But once again, forced labor played a significant role. The Volkswagen factory, which Porsche helped oversee, became a hub for exploitation. Prisoners of war, political dissidents, and concentration camp inmates were forced to work under brutal conditions. Many didn't survive. One of the most tragic examples was the use of forced labor from the Neuengamme concentration camp. Prisoners were subjected to inhumane conditions, and thousands died from exhaustion, malnutrition, and disease. It's a grim reminder of how deeply entangled Porsche was with the Nazi regime, and how much the company benefited from its atrocities. After World War II ended, Ferdinand Porsche faced consequences, sort of. He was arrested by the French for war crimes and spent nearly 2 years in prison. But here's the twist, he was never formally convicted. Instead, he was released due to poor health and a lack of evidence. Once free, Ferdinand and his son, Ferry Porsche, set out to rebuild their legacy. In 1948, they launched the first car under the Porsche brand, the Porsche 356. It was a sleek, high-performance sports car that quickly gained popularity. The 356 was a symbol of innovation and craftsmanship, and it laid the foundation for Porsche's future success. But here's the question, should we separate the art from the artist? Can we admire Porsche's engineering brilliance while acknowledging the dark history behind its founder? It's a debate that continues to this day. Today, Porsche is a global powerhouse, known for its cutting-edge technology and luxurious designs. But the company hasn't fully escaped its past. Historians and critics often point to Ferdinand Porsche's Nazi ties as a stain on the brand's legacy. Porsche has taken steps to address its history. The company has openly acknowledged its use of forced labor and has worked to promote transparency. In the 1990s, Porsche, along with other German companies, agreed to contribute to a compensation fund for Holocaust survivors. It was a step toward accountability, but for many, it wasn't enough. The question remains, Can a brand ever truly move on from such a dark past? Or is it forever tied to the actions of its founder? It's a complex issue, and one that continues to spark debate among historians, car enthusiasts, and consumers alike. So, there you have it, the disturbing history of Porsche. From its ties to the Nazi regime to its rise as luxury icon, Porsche's story is a reminder that even the most celebrated brands can have a complicated past. What do you think? Should we judge a company by its history, or is it possible to separate the brand from its origins? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves cars, or history. And of course, subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the brands we know today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.